Hello, my loves. Okay, let's turn the comments on because we all know how that goes. There we go. Hi, everybody. I tried, the reason I'm late, I said I was going to do this at 5 Eastern, and right now it's 5, just about 5:10. I tried so hard to get on YouTube Live from my computer. Does anybody, hey, Air, does anybody who has a Windows computer, not a Mac, know how to go live on YouTube from the computer? Not a Windows, because not a Mac. On my Mac, I had no problem. I just did it. Now I don't have a Mac anymore, Windows, and I cannot for the life of me figure this out. So let's say hello to everybody. And then what we're going to talk about on this video is one, this is the best part. This is like the best thing that's ever happened to me. Well, one of. Hey everybody, you guys are hopping on so fast, so I'm going to come back and say hellos in 1 second. But first, I just want to make sure that I tell you guys what this is about before I start rambling. So first of all, one of you beautiful ladies got a shout out from your loved one on the inside as a surprise. And after I got this message, I'm like, we need to do this more often. So I'll give you guys a way to give your loved one information to get a message to me. And if they want to shout you out, let's say for like your birthday or Valentine's Day or Christmas or just a love message to you guys in public on YouTube, I got you guys. How fun is that? So we're going to do that. Also, I have an update on the video that posted this morning that was titled, "The worst thing that possibly could happen to somebody inside prison happened to this man," and hint, he's still alive. So it was worse than somebody actually dying inside of prison. Thank you, sweetheart. Actually, Heather that just commented, and I looked up the article this morning. And so I saw more details of what happened, and I want to give you the update because it's actually, to me, a lot worse than I had thought. And I'll talk through that with you as to why I think it's worse. And then the last thing was, there was an event at the White House yesterday. I waited to make this video until today because I thought it was today. So I was waiting. I thought it was May 3rd for some reason because it was May 3rd last year and it was May 2nd this year. So no big deal. We didn't miss much of anything, but I wanted to talk through that with you guys as well. So that's what's going to be basically the focus of today's live video. So let's start with the not so fun stuff first, just to get it out of the way, and then we'll do the shout out, and then we'll talk about the White House event. So in the video that I posted this morning, you guys go back and watch if you missed it. It's a heart wrencher and it's real quick. Oh my gosh, thanks, Kat. I just posted on Instagram, like, eyebrows on point. I know, they came out really good today. You could see one is better than the other, and that's because, first of all, this one's just my better eyebrow, and second of all, I did this one better for the gram. Not gonna lie, for the gram. I was like, oh, my eyebrows look good. I need a picture for the gram. And then I went to go take it, and I was like, oh, they're not good enough. Yep. I would love to do your makeup, girlfriend. Okay. So let's get serious for a second. So that video this morning was about a man who lost his whole entire family while they were on their way to visit. And again, go back and watch that if you missed it because all of the details are in there. It's so sad. So what I found out, I thought they were driving from Pittsburgh to Bradford, and that's about a 3-hour drive. So I thought it was some point along that way between Pittsburgh and when they got into town. I was incorrect. When we saw this article, I realized they had made it into town the night before, and they were driving to the facility the morning of visit, because the article stated that this happened at 8 o'clock in the morning, and that is when you're on your way to visit. It happened on Saturday morning, which is on your way to visit, and it happened on 219, which is the highway you take to get from the hotels or from Route 80 to the prison facility. And I have been I'll tell you in 1 sec. I have been in a position where I'm on that exact road. I know exactly where they were. And there is this anxiety that I'm sure you guys have all faced. So give me a black heart in the comments because this is really sad. But if you face this experience, you feel so much anxiety to get to visit on time so that you are one of the first in line or one of the first to be processed, so that you're not waiting behind a line of people and you can get every last moment and minute with your loved one. Because the faster you get processed through, at least where I am, the faster you get in and the longer you can stay with him. It's not like they kick you out if you get there early and only after a certain amount of hours. Visits in the feds are from 8:30 to 3. It's supposed to be 8 to 3, but let's not go there. And then they kick you out at 3 o'clock. Unless there's something like they're terminating visits because the visit room gets overcrowded and they ran out of chairs, you're not going to get kicked out. So what happened, especially at this facility, is people started getting there earlier and earlier and earlier. So by the time you're allowed to get there, or by the time they start processing, I should say, there's already a line of people. So you could get there at 8 o'clock or even 10 to 8 in the morning, and there's a line of 15, 20 people deep. You guys, thank you, sweetheart. You guys, again, black hearts in the comments if you guys have experienced this. So you get up early, you fix yourself up, you fix the kids up, you got them in the car. Now the way that between the hotels and the facility, the way that road is, you're up in the Allegheny Mountains, okay? And you come to an on-ramp onto 219, and it's this on-ramp that splits, and you're splitting onto, it's not a highway, it's in this area, I mean, it's a highway because of the name of it, but it's a local road, and it's a one-lane road for most of it, and it's a double yellow line that goes dotted at points, but it's windy and it's up through the mountains, and it literally, you're going to pass a sign that says that you are entering the Allegheny Mountains. So there are some residential spots, there are some stores, but basically it's just windy and hilly, and it's through the mountains, and it's usually extremely foggy there in the mornings all year long. So a lot of times you're going to get stuck behind a truck, behind a slow pickup truck, behind just a slow moving vehicle. And it's 45 miles an hour at the speed limit at this. It looks like a road that should be like 60, 65, but in this stretch, it's 45 miles an hour. Most people are not doing 45 miles an hour. I am guilty of this myself. I think that's why this hit me so hard when I read the article, because this should have been me 100 times. I'm telling you guys, especially distracted driving, which I will never do again. But early on when I started going there, I'd be so nervous and anxious. I'd be doing my lipstick in the car. I'm a nervous lip glosser, right? So it's going on and on over. I was making videos in the car back then. I was just a mess. Meanwhile, you get behind a slow car and you're like, okay, this is going to cost me 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or 10, 20 minutes, but let's just say 3 minutes you're behind a truck, and that's going to put me back 5 people. That could easily put me back a half hour, if not more. And if I don't get into this, because the cops take their time processing people, you guys, I'm sure you guys all know with the black hearts, let me know in the comments, but it could be 15 minutes between a family just because they want to drag their feet. Now, where I go, there is a 10 o'clock count. So they will stop processing visitors at 9:30, and then you are locked in that room, or you're told to leave the facility, and you need to come back after count, which is at 10:30, 10:45, sometimes 11 o'clock if they want. You have to wait until count clears. So you might get there at 7:45 in the morning, and if it's busy and you don't get processed in time, or there's some drama at the front, somebody doesn't make it through the metal detector and they let them go 45 times, and then they let the family in front of you go 15 times through the metal detector. They can't get through. There's something wrong with the paperwork. They wait 15 minutes. The next person comes through. Oops, they're supposed to be at the camp down the street. They wait another 15 minutes. 2 or 3 people can cost you the time between getting in there at 8:30, 9 o'clock and getting in there at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So the point is, you're rushing. Most of the time, you're speeding. Most of the time, and I'm not saying that this is what happened with those people, but this is where I put myself at risk so many times in these mountain roads. It's foggy, it's windy, it's 45 miles an hour, but you get to a spot where you're driving for 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden it turns into a dotted line and you can pass real quick. You're doing 80 to get around that car. Visibility is not so great because it's windy, it's foggy, and it's very easy to potentially get into a head-on collision with the car that's coming at you. You're in a rush. You're not really paying too close of attention. And again, I am not saying that's what happened with this family. What I'm saying is, by when it happened, where it happened, and the fact that it was a head-on collision, it probably was them just rushing to get to visit, or to get around a slow car, or to get around a slow truck, because I've done it 100 times myself. So if I did not make myself clear enough in the video that posted this morning, we need to be careful, because God forbid Adam got a call that was me because I was just rushing to visit. It would break his heart and he would never forgive himself. That's what I wanted to pass along to everybody in this morning's video. Put your phones away when you're driving, and not to be a mom and not to tell you, do this, do that, preach. I need that. That's to myself, and that's to everybody here. Distracted driving sucks. I texted my friend that I ride with to visit, this morning a link to the article, and I go, never let me pass anybody on 219 ever again. I don't care if we're late. And she's like, you got it, girl, because it's just not worth your life, and it's not worth doing that to him. So anyway, I'm going to leave that aside, but I just wanted to pass that along, a little bit more information, because I was like, I don't know, the family got killed on the way to visit, and now I know a lot more. And making that drive hundreds probably of times 10 years in at this point, I know for a fact where they were. I know what those roads look like. I know what they are to drive. I know how the trucks drive around you. I know how slow they go in front of you. And I know that temptation to get past them and then to speed your way because you just want to get around them and get back into your lane because it's scary. So I know exactly what it feels like. I've been in that close car. I've done 80 miles an hour in the lane I'm not supposed to be in with oncoming traffic, and I've just got myself back in. So just be careful, you guys. That's the point. So, okay, Kat said, the reason we only had 2 visits this year, it was so hard after this video. I completely get it. Oh, Kat. Okay, I'll come back and I'll read comments in a minute. So, let's go to something good. We don't want to end on a bad note. I'm so sorry. My whole entire heart goes out to this family. Adam said that he's doing okay. He's been checking up on this guy. Oh, and what I didn't know in that video as well was it was one man's mother, wife, 2 children, and then another man's fiance had ridden with them. So she was in the car as well. And I believe that she passed away as well, is from what I'm getting out of it. But, and then the driver of the other vehicle, the truck, it was a pickup truck that they had head on. He is in critical condition. He is in the hospital somewhere. He was air flighted out of there. So, and everybody, unfortunately, in the visitor's car passed. So, actually, I don't know. Lauren, do you know if the fiance passed away? I'm gathering from the way Adam said that everybody was kind of giving them both their condolences, but he never flat out said it. So I don't want to share false news, but I'm almost 100% positive that other guy's fiance also was killed on impact. Okay, so let's move on to the good stuff. Adam was in the dining hall the other day, and some guy came running up to him and was like, hey, I have a question for you, man. And Adam's like, okay. He goes, does your wife have a YouTube channel and a website? And Adam said he gets this huge smile on his face, and he goes, yeah, she does. And then the guy said back to him, he's never spoken to this guy about me before. He goes, man, Ro really loves you. And Adam goes, he doesn't even realize how much I needed to hear that, like how sweet that was, right? That other people are coming to show how much you truly love me. So he told me that this man was a guy who had gotten out and then met this woman when he was out. And unfortunately, I don't know how long it was that he was out, but he caught another case, or he violated, I'm not sure. I think he caught another case because he got a huge chunk of time, like 90 something months. And so this woman that he met in between while he was out decided to ride with him, decided to do the bid with him and sign up for the long haul. That's how I know how long he's doing this, because he's like, she signed up to do 90 whatever months. So he goes, please let her know how much I appreciate her and how much her boyfriend, Kane is his name, loves her. So let me read, because I have her name and I have his name, and it's just so freaking sweet. And it made me realize, 1, she gets a shout out. 2, the rest of you can get shout outs. Why not? Why not have your boyfriend or your husband or your fiance or your loved one or your pen pal or your friend send you a surprise message here on YouTube? Like, what an awesome gift, because they're not allowed to do that much. They don't have enough money to buy a lot of stuff. So why not make that a gift? Like, to me, that would be amazing if Adam did that for me. Anyway, okay. So let's just read Adam's email. He said, he goes, oh, how could I have almost forgotten? Because he sent me this long email. And he goes, check this out. A few days ago, I'm walking through the dining hall, talking to someone, and this guy asks me if my wife has a website and a YouTube channel. So I smile and tell him yes. And he says, man, Ro really loves you. And then Adam goes, ha, 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 ha. Because of course a guy would laugh at that. He goes, how great is that? I told him we'd talk later today. Right before we went to this exercise class that they do. I caught up with him briefly on the yard. He told me that he had gotten out briefly, met his girlfriend, and then caught this new case for 100 months. So it's more than 90 months. She's been a year longer than 90 months. She's been hanging in there and drawing inspiration from you, meaning me, and our situation. You guys, I'm an emotional wreck today. Like, reading YouTube comments, I've been crying today. Reading this email, I'm about to like lose it. Why am I an emotional hormonal row has entered the building? Jeez. Okay, so it was a brief but really nice conversation. I'm sure I'll have a chance to talk to him again soon. He told me her name is Cheyenne and would love to hear from you. And what better way to hear from me than in front of 3,000 people to profess your boyfriend's love for you and our gratitude for you being here. Okay, so I don't know how that works on your end. I do. But if there's any way you can relay the story, I sure will. I just did. And let her know how much it meant for me, meaning Adam, to hear from her guy, Kane. So Cheyenne, you're amazing. I can't tell you how much it touched my heart to hear how much that I'm helping you through this, to hear like full circle stories like that. You guys, make all of this worth it. Make those few negative comments that I have to deal with worth it. Make the days that I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna fit it all in, but I need to make a video because this is my calling, all worth it. So I love you guys so much. So Cheyenne, Kane loves you to pieces. If any of you guys want to get a shout out from your man, from your woman, the P.O. Box address is always in the description of my videos. It is, you can send it to Roe Clausen or Strong Prison Wives at Families, or not Strong Prison Wives at Families. What does that mean? Strong Prison Wives and Families, or SPWF, however you want to entitle it, that's fine. And then it's P.O. Box 85, Gillette, New Jersey, 07933. Again, that is always in the description box of my videos. I do not believe that the description box is there on a live. I believe it pops up. I think that's how it works. I don't know. I've never watched myself live, but I think after this video is over, I believe that's when you could see the description box below. And it's in any other video that I make. It's always there. Just send it to your man. I promise I will not write back. I don't interact. I should probably talk about this now too. I've had a lot of women in the past ask me to contact their boyfriends, their loved ones on their behalf. And out of respect for your relationship and mine, I don't respond to those messages. I do not reach out to other people's loved ones. And I'm telling you that to say I will not write back. That's just not me. I respect my husband enough. I respect all of you enough that I would never do that. But I will take that letter and I will read whatever shout out that they have for you guys, because I know how much it would mean to me if Adam did that for me on some YouTuber. No, my channel. What is this? Why do I keep doing this today? Who did I get this from? I'm weird. Okay, so last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is yesterday was the National Day of Prayer at the White House. I thought that one of my dear friends was getting recognized there again this year. He got recognized there last year. He was there this year, but he wasn't recognized, like he wasn't called up that I'm aware of by President Trump. God, I can't remember who the president is. My God, what is wrong with me right now? I'm all over the place. But it's a huge event. And for the past few years, the president has invited, drum roll please, ex-offenders who are making the best of their second chances to this event. And that is exactly who he recognized last year. He recognized our dear friend, John Ponder of Hope for Prisoners. And he called him up to the stage, or it's in the Rose Garden. It's a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, and a lot of clergy leaders are there. And John, of course, is in that community of people. If you guys are not aware of Hope for Prisoners, it is the top re-entry organization in the country, based out of Las Vegas. Go check out their website. It is, I believe it's hopeforprisoners.org, but if you just search Hope for Prisoners in Las Vegas, it will pop up. Confession, total confession. I have wanted to get John on my channel for ages. I talked to John probably once. John is the founder. He runs Hope for Prisoners. Every time I talk to him, he's at an airport or on a plane going to do something incredible and amazing with some high up politician or sports person or celebrity. And there's me, Roe Clausen, playing small. Like, I can't bother this man and ask him to be on my silly little YouTube channel while he's moving mountains and like basically changing the world. Not that I'm not, just in my small little way, you know, we're trying to make it a big way. But point is, every time I have him on the phone, I want to do it and then I get shy. But I will hopefully get John on my channel. He also has a YouTube channel. As soon as I get the courage to ask him, I know he would totally do it. I know he would, but I don't, I'm so nervous to ask him because I'm like, you're traveling like 7 out of the 7 days of a week. You have a family and little kids. I don't want to bother you, but I'll ask him. I'll grow some courage. I didn't know how to say that. You know what I was going to say. Amazing man, but he was there. So that's where I first learned of the National Day of Prayer that President Trump designated. He does it in the Rose Garden. It is a beautiful ceremony. There were a ton of ex-offenders there. There were a few celebrities there. I know Winona Judd was there because it was funny. I was watching a YouTube video and they said that the president forgot her name, which I thought was really funny because the way that he played it off when I was watching a YouTube video about it, I was just trying to figure out who he recognized there this year. It was a rabbi who is famous for, I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing, to be honest with you. It was an hour and something minutes, and I just didn't have time at work today. But it was still an amazing event. Lots of amazing stuff going on. Lots of criminal justice reform going on, and that's all I know about that. But go check out John, and hopefully I'll get him on the channel. And he was there. He was recognized last year. You can even look up National Day of Prayer 2018 and see him there. But that's it. Okay, so let's talk about comments. Let's answer any questions, whatever you guys have about anything I talked about here or anything else moving forward, anything you want answered, any comments, concerns, questions, you guys know. Just let me know. Post them up in the comments. Okay. Hi, Daniel. I tried to add the Invisible Shackles page on Facebook, but I never got added. What should I do? Raven, you have to make sure that you answer all of the questions. So go back and answer the questions. If you answered all of the questions and you still are having trouble being added, email info@strongprisonwivesandfamilies.com. I'm sure one of my lovelies will put that in the comments and Megan will get back to you. Let's look. Whoops. Oops, God, don't know. Okay, I almost reported a comment. Love all your different looks, but it's still you, beautiful. Oh, Derek, thank you so much. I can't scroll. Oh, dropping the phone, dropping the light. You guys know how I do. This is horrible. Okay. Are we still live, you guys? Are we still good? I just totally hit the phone. The light is dropping on me. This is just, how it goes with me. Okay, will do. Yes, we are. Okay, good. Okay. I just wanted to try to, thanks guys. I just wanted to try to scroll through the comments without making the phone and light and everything fall because everybody knows my, how do I say it? Not so lovely setup here. I have my phone on top of an upside down Yankee candle and then my light leaning up against another Yankee candle. My computer next to it. I just bought myself a tripod today though, so we're making progress. Okay. So sad you pray for that man's family. Thank you. I got a letter from you yesterday saying he still loves me and cares about me and asked me if I would put money on his books. Courtney, you got a letter from your loved one yesterday saying he still loves you and cares about you and asked if you would put money on his books. Can you comment a little more? I would love to answer your question, but I don't know exactly what the background is. So let me know. Do you know of anyone I can hook up from Florence, Colorado that we can get together? I want to go visit. I would join the Invisible Shackles page and see if anybody is in Colorado from there. We don't promote ride shares or anything like that just because we don't know who we're telling you to get in the car with, which could cause a whole slew of issues. But you can go on there and see if anybody's in Colorado, or you can go on our Instagram page. We have like 11,000 members there. Thank you guys for all these amazing comments about my makeup and how beautiful I look. I just love you guys so much. Okay, I think those are all just hellos. Let's scroll back down and see what you guys have. The way he said it, I agree with you. Okay, Lauren's talking about the guy's fiance. We think that she also was killed in that crash. I heard that one lady's in critical. I'll check. Oh, so maybe that was the fiance, Heather. That's the best compliment. Yeah, talking about the message from Mr. Kane. Smith and her 3 passengers, 31-year-old Tiana, 12-year-old boy, and 9-year-old girl were pronounced dead at the scene. The children's names haven't been disclosed. Oh, thank you for that, Heather. So sad. Oh, Reagan, thank you about my positive energy. I try my best. Hey, Derek. Thanks, Lisanne, for putting the address in there. How long does it take to get emails from Adam? I'm a very new sub from Jess's channel. Oh, that's awesome. Jess is amazing. And I believe she's going live today at 8. So I was like, I got to get my live in because I got to watch her channel. So Adam uses, what do you call it? A platform called CoreLinks, not just Adam, that's across the federal system. So CoreLinks, it usually takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours for messages to come through. Usually it's not. Usually it's about an hour 15, but I always err on the side of caution and say, okay, this will take 2 hours. So let's say they lock down at 9:30. That's the last time, 9:15 is the last time that they could check their emails. I make sure if I want to send him an email for him to get that night, I send it by 7 o'clock. So again, just because I'm erring on the side of caution. Now, if your inmate is flagged and they flag their emails for some odd reason, which isn't common, it's like if they're under an investigation or they've used some crazy words that get their email flagged, you know, like words that make it seem like they're still involved in criminal activity out here, or they use staff members' names, or they use other inmates' names, then they will cut off their emails at 5:30. They can 5 o'clock p.m. I think is when business hours are over at that facility, and they won't let any emails from that person go through. Even though they sent them, they'll get kind of just stuck in cyberspace, and then they won't go through until the next day during business hours. Those emails are read by a staff member, and then they will either be allowed to go through or they will be rejected. And so let's say your loved one sends an email at 5:45 on Friday evening. Next business hours aren't until Monday morning at, I don't know if it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I don't know what time that works. So you're not going to get emails over the weekend, because one time the whole entire facility by accident, they did that too. So no emails were going through over the weekend. And Adam was like, oh, scared, because he's paranoid based off of all of the crap that he saw and went through when he was in the high level penitentiary. So he's like, what happened? What did we do? We don't do anything. He's just, that's him kind of being scarred, and it wound up, it was the whole facility anyway. But I hope that helps both ways. So when he hits send on an email, it takes about, we'll say, an hour to 2 hours. Let's say 2 hours to err on the side of caution to get to me, and then vice versa. If I send an email, it takes about that long. So it's amazing and wonderful to have emails, but it's not like we have out here where we can use emails almost like an instant messaging system. They get all routed through a central hub, read, you know, they have to get processed through, and then you get them. Okay. So what else? Tell Adam to tell Eric I want a shout out from him. You got it, girl. What else is there? How well does your husband eat on the inside? What is the food like? Daniel, such a good question. So I think I'm going to do a dedicated video to that, because that's a really good question and it's a really long answer. But he tries to eat, go to every single meal. He won't eat all of the food at every meal. So for example, for breakfast, there's always some sort of yellow cake or donut or sugary cereal. Adam doesn't eat that stuff. He's very, very, very healthy. So he'll go to breakfast, but he'll get a milk, and he'll bring his own oatmeal sometimes, and he'll trade out, he'll take the cake and he'll trade it out with somebody for an extra milk, something like that. And then same thing, like every Wednesday for lunch is the big meal. Lunch, there'll be burger and fries. So he'll go and he'll take the burger, he'll trade his fries, he'll get rid of the bun, and then he'll trade stuff out. He makes sure he goes to every meal, or as many meals as he can, and then he'll eat what he can from the commissary. Unfortunately, he likes to eat, they sell, I think, like canned mackerel on the commissary, lots of protein he likes to eat. So he gets his oatmeal at the commissary, he gets some nuts at the commissary, but I think they recently took most of the healthy items off of the commissary because, you know, why would they let them eat healthy? So that's basically in a nutshell. He's starving all the time. Adam is 6'4", 215 pounds, muscular, but like this, because they don't feed them a lot. He's hungry all the time. He can't really compensate all of the differences. They do have like health shakes, I guess their version of a protein shake in the commissary. They run out like that, so they're really hard to get, and they're kind of junky. But that's that for now. That's basically in a nutshell, but I think that's a great idea to do a whole different video on it. The food is awful, though. Awful. He told me what he ate today. It was like, he's like fish patties on like deep fried fish, because it's not, obviously it's like crap, patties on bread, which he gave away the bread. He said, and then there was canned fruit, some vegetable, and then some sort of like coleslaw, like shredded old cabbage mixed with a ton of mayo and sugar. So like that's kind of the food, like slop. Do you know if it's still 85%? He has 10 years and he's done. Just like Lauren said, it's more like 87, and they're taking forever. They are dragging their feet to implement the differences in the First Step Act. Invisible Shackles, Derek, is a group that we have on Facebook. It's a private Facebook page for prison wives and family members, just so there's no hate or bashing or anything from the outside. We do have a huge Facebook page called Strong Prison Wives, and Strong Prison Wives and Families, I think. And that's for anybody, but some people can't join that page because they don't want, let's say, their boss or family members who are unsupportive to see that they are part of that group. So we made Invisible Shackles as a private group. Thank God for you making SPWF. Anna, oh, you're so welcome. How much do you think is a reasonable amount to send for commissary? So, Latoria, I know you're new. I actually have a video. It's one of my most watched videos this past year. It's called How Much to Send to an Inmate at Federal Prison, or in prison. How much does a person need in jail? And it goes line item by line item, every single thing that they could buy, not only off of the commissary, but also off of, like what they could do in there, how they could like, buy from each other's like hustle. And what I mean by that, it's legal, but like there's a guy that does the ironing, there's guys that do haircuts, that kind of stuff. Kayla, of course, sweetheart. Do you have my cell phone number, or can you email me and I will email me your phone number and I'll call you. I just don't want to say it here. I don't want you to say it here either. Or you can get my phone number from Adam's mom. Sorry, commercial break, guys. That's Adam's beautiful cousin. Say hello to Kayla. Hey, so I've been wanting to make an app that help prison families, but I know there are a lot of stipulations. I wanted to know if I could ask you some questions, and if so, how? Raven, of course. Unfortunately, creating an app yourself is ridiculously expensive. We have the Strong Prison Wives app that is powered by a different organization. Very sweet. They donated it to us, but yes, reach out to me and I'll help you as much as I can. In federal limit, it's $360 a month. Thank you for that, Heather. SPWF has an app. Yes. Yeah, and even if, Raven, you want to join forces and maybe come on and help us with our app instead of kind of reinventing the wheel, we could talk about that as well. You can fill out a volunteer application, bit.ly/SPWF volunteer app. Sometimes it's easier just to not. I was taught this when I was developing a nonprofit. Search for what's out there first, and then see if you can join forces prior to trying to reinvent the wheel. If it's something like this, where it's, you're giving back, it's human rights, it's civil rights. So why not just join forces? Not saying that you have to. I'm just saying that might be easier for everybody. Fun fact, here in Maine jail, you can order a sub from a local sub shop on Friday, maybe twice a month, but still cool. Oh, that is really cool. So then who delivers it, Derek? So you, as the husband, orders the sub and then they deliver it? How does that work? Or they call it in from jail. That's cool. You can get commissary lists from every federal facility. Yes, thanks, Lauren. Don't forget to sign. Oh, Faye, yes, thank you. So because of Faye's, she is like a freedom fighting soldier for my dear husband, Adam, and I. And so she comments in every video the petition for Adam's clemency as well. She gave me the greatest suggestion I've been putting it in the YouTube card so you could just click it. And I've been forgetting though, because I'm like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like. And I should really be saying, don't forget to sign Adam's petition. So thank you so much, Auntie Faye, for being our freedom fighter for Help Free Adam. Awesome. I've been binging today. I'll eventually make it through all the videos and catch up. I love you. Bro, please tell us what you will be doing with the petition. Great, great, great suggestion. So what happens is, Kayla, oh my God, yes, please, please, please call me, you guys. I'm sorry. Whoa, that was like shocking. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Told you I'm emotional row today. And then you know what? I think I might put you in touch with another friend who just lost her husband if she's okay with it. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm distracted. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Okay, so let's go back. What I'll be doing with Adam's petition. I'm sorry, guys, I'm a little distracted. Oof. Kayla is really young, you guys, and they have little babies, and I don't want to make her upset, but that just, oof. Okay. you're finding a lot of released prisoners being able to find jobs after release. Daniel, oh, just got some amazing news about that. So yeah, we'll talk about that in another video as well, but there's some really cool developments with that, not by me, something I just recently heard, which is kind of in the works, but very cool. So let's go back to Faye. Adam applied for clemency under President Obama in 2016. Because in the feds, in the federal system, there are only 3 chances for appeal. Once those 3 appeals are exhausted very early on in their sentence, you're done. There's no parole in the federal system unless one of 3 things. Unless you're an inmate whose case was out of DC, you're an inmate who was sentenced under a certain year in the 1980s, it's called old law, or your case is a military case, you're a military inmate. Other than that, nobody else in federal prison gets parole. I know there are some people fighting to create bills to get parole back in the federal system, which I believe should be. This was a law that was passed by President Clinton back in the 90s that took parole out of federal prison. So his appeals were exhausted by like 2005, over. So there weren't really any avenues. There were a couple of bills that came through that could have helped, but they were kind of dead end within that year. President Obama President Obama did a clemency push in 2016. We got word that Adam's petition was on the vice president's desk. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. Unfortunately, we got word that that was the day before President Trump was sworn in and took over for President Obama. And what happens with that is then all of those petitions are kind of just at a standstill, right? So they're not denied, they're not approved. You know, lists came out after that. There were a few thousand denied. There were a few thousand that were approved. And then there were a few thousand in this bucket where Adam was that were just left. So then that was January. In May or June of that year, we get a letter from the Office of the U.S. Pardon Attorney, and it said, your petition has been closed because of pending litigation. So what that means is there is an old law that the Pardon Attorney's office decided to cite in this case. Didn't have to do it, but Adam had an appeal open in Philadelphia off of all of that Supreme Court stuff that I've been talking about recently, and I'm not going to rehash it. It's just in videos from like the past couple of weeks. Cases going through the Supreme Court that could potentially give him relief. He has an appeal already that's been sitting in Philadelphia, which is the circuit that Adam was sentenced out of. It's just been sitting there for years. So because that's open and they haven't done anything, they're just sitting on it. They're probably waiting for these decisions from the Supreme Court to come down from over here. But in the meantime, there's old law that says if you have any other relief in sight, any other pending open litigation, then we aren't going to entertain your clemency petition. So they closed it. Now with President Trump, we put it back through. It's back in, circulating. So what we will do with this petition is once that is with that petition, okay, this is getting confusing. With Adam's clemency petition, not the petition you guys are signing, the clemency petition, which is over here. We added a link to this petition with all of your names that you're signing this petition saying, yes, I support Adam Clausen coming home. He's done enough time. He's reformed. So once the president, hopefully, this reaches him, then over here, he will get a link with this petition. There's a link in there. Does that make sense? So that's a live link that will keep updating as you guys keep signing. So that is what we plan to do with that petition. You are finding, okay, sorry, it got stuck. What is HMU? Lisanne. I had hubby do a line by line of his cost from that video idea. Oh, awesome, Carly. I love that I inspired that. The sub comes with commissary, so I guess guards order it somehow. It was every other Friday. I know they've ordered from Canteen, a vendor machine company. That is really, really cool. Oh, hit me up. Duh. Okay, see? Your girl doesn't know. Oh, that was so hot. I made myself tea, but this is an amazing coffee mug from Walmart. And this is like 12 hours hot and 12 hours cold. So I poured the tea in there, and I always do this. I forgot that it was hot. I just burnt the crap out of my tongue. I do it all the time. I am surprised I have taste buds left. I swear the amount of times that I burn my tongue. because of this or other things. The other day, somebody dropped off food and I was like, oh, I want a bite of this rice. And she didn't tell me that it was hot. And it was so hot. And I was like, what do I do? Do I spit? Do I swallow? What do I do? And I swallowed it and I burnt my throat like I felt like I had strep for 2 days. Yeah. Your girl's an airhead. I just told Ray Ray last night, I'm like, I'm an airhead. Okay, I admit it. Okay, does anybody have anything else before I go? Because this is getting kind of long. 39 minutes. Yeah, this is really long. Before I go, let's just check the comments out one more time. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 5 more seconds and then I'm gonna go try to get in touch with Kayla. It's just been like a quarter of crap. It's been all I've heard about this year, starting in March, was like death and tragedy and all of that stuff. So I have vowed that May is going to be better and it's going to be the black cloud of April is going to be behind us and it's going to be lifted, and we are putting it out there that from May forward, it is going to be the best year of our lives. We're going to put all that black cloud of April, March, beginning of the year, Q1 2019 behind us, and we're gonna make it the best year ever. So I love you guys. Keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey, because you're one day closer to it all being behind you. Lots and lots and lots of love from my heart to all of yours. If you are not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave. Make sure you guys like this video so YouTube knows to show this content to the people who need it the most, like us when we were doing this alone, and we just needed to know that there were other people out there. I will see you, beautiful ladies and gentlemen, in the next one.